My wife and I were living on a sailboat in the British Virgin Islands when my wife had a reason to see a physician in the community. And after they determined that I was a urologist, they began to ask me to see patients who were dying of prostate cancer in the hospital in Tortola. As a result of that, I became aware of the fact that most of the prostate cancer that they were finding was late-stage prostate cancer. When I got home the next fall, I was sitting in church one day when I just got a clear idea that I needed to start a prostate cancer screening in Tortola. And after I ran out of excuses as to why I couldn't do that, I decided that I would make a deal. I would send one letter and I would wait and see what happened. Well, about 2 weeks later, I got a letter from a lady, Idris O'Neill, who was the wife of the Chief Minister of the British Virgin Islands, who said she was also the head of the British Virgin Islands Red Cross and that she would provide whatever I needed to do prostate cancer screening on the island. As a result, we started a prostate cancer screening, and the first year we saw 50 men, and the last year we saw 1,500. It was amazing to me how this developed over the course of a 9-year period. It seemed like every time I needed something, someone said yes. The first person was David Crawford, who's the head of the urology department at that time at the University of Colorado. And when I asked if he would get me the forms that men needed to fill out in order to participate in a prostate cancer screening, he said yes. Then when I got to the British Virgin Islands, I found out that a lot of the men couldn't read and write, so they couldn't fill out the forms. So the Rotary Club sent men to help the community fill out the forms. Then when I had a problem figuring out how to get prostate biopsies done cost effectively because it just cost too much to go to Puerto Rico, one of the local physicians who just bought a brand new ultrasound machine was delighted when I went to the AUA and picked up a rectal probe so that he could learn to do prostate cancer biopsies that were guided by ultrasound. During the prostate cancer screening, there was a urologist named Chick McWilliams who came walking in the day before we were to do the prostate cancer screening and said, "Hey, I'm a urologist from Oklahoma City. Could you use some help?" And at that point, we were trying to screen like 300 or 400 men in a day. And so, oh my gosh, I welcomed him with open arms. It was always amazing to me as this project developed how many people had to say yes in order for this to occur. So just remember that, in my opinion, one of the most powerful words in the English language is yes. The future is so bright for the things you are going to be able to do for your patients. When I read about the progress that's being made in cancer treatment, the fact that we may be able to cure sickle cell disease with the CRISPR-Cas9 gene therapy, and there are other examples where people who need transplants now who are dying because they can't get a suitable transplant, it looks like we may be able to use their own stem cells to grow organs in the future that will be an identical twin. Those were the things that my generation dreamed about, but we never were able to achieve it. You're going to be able to do that, and that is going to be incredibly rewarding.